Okay. Okay, let's do this. Share. Put this up. All right. Start webinar. All right. We're going to start letting people in. Actually, are they coming in? Okay. Is everybody coming in?
431 participants.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. We got some highs.
Okay, yes, you guys are all here. I'm like, is everybody in or is it just me and Miranda the entire time? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Greg. Welcome, James. Welcome, Marty, Alex, Jeff. These are going fast. Oh my God. Jordan, iPhone, Pierre, Dan Van, Jojo, Daniel, Apollo. I love it. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. I'm going to let everybody kind of enter for another 30 seconds and then I'm going to get started. But in the meantime, I can see some of you are already doing it, and I'm going to give instructions on this in a second. But if you can drop your name and your location into the chat, that would be lovely and amazing. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Welcome. Again, before we dive in, I'd love to find out where everyone is coming from. If you can drop your name in the chat and your location, it would be wonderful because I see, okay, let's go. We've got Brandon from Colorado. Joel from Los Angeles, Jeff from Boston. We have Tom from Pittsburgh. We have Ralph from Miami. We have Terrence from New Jersey. We have Shane from New York. We have Thomas from Hockley, Texas. What is that? Hockley or Hock? Anyway, from Texas. We have Eris from Virginia. We've got lots of people from very similar places. We have Eddie from Edinburgh. That's kind of funny. We've got Jeff from Texas, Jim from Albuquerque. We've got people from all over. And I absolutely love it. I can't even keep up with all of these names and locations that I'm seeing. But thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me and Miranda tonight. I'm so excited to have you here today. And I'm beyond grateful and thankful that it blows my mind, to be honest, that you guys take the time out of your day to join me for what I believe could be the most important hour of your dating life. So our class today, it's about an hour long. I might go over a little bit. I'm a fast talker, so is Miranda, but we have a lot of things to share with you guys. But our class, again, is about an hour, and I'm going to dive in to the topic of how successful men can confidently approach any woman with class, charm, and authenticity, because that's what every person wants to learn. How do you do it properly, authentically, and without looking like a big old douchebag? So I am joined by my amazing wing girl, Miranda, who runs many of our inner circle coaching sessions. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we have a live coaching program called the Inner Circle. And we have about 8 amazing wing girls. I should have brought all of them on tonight, but I had Miranda, who is one of my head coaches, come on tonight to join me for this presentation. Yeah, and the Inner Circle is amazing. We have lots of unbelievable men in that program who have gotten into unbelievable relationships and have had great success in our program. And I'm not going to tell you all about that because I could go on for hours, but Miranda, again, is one of the head coaches in that program. But I want to start off by, yeah, sorry, let her talk. As you can tell, I'm a little bit excited and nervous right now talking to you guys. So I'm amped up and pumped to talk to you. But I want to start off by painting a picture of who I see you as being, of who I think you are and who I know you are. I know that you are successful men, that you've figured out your careers, your finances, your health, your friendships. You've built something meaningful in your life. Okay. You're not struggling in most areas. In fact, you're probably excelling in many areas of your life. But there's this one area that still feels like a complete mystery to you. And this one part of your life where all of that success and confidence seems to disappear the moment that you see an attractive woman that you'd love to meet. So you can probably close $1 million deals, you can lead teams, you can solve complex problems. But when it comes to approaching women and creating genuine attraction, you feel like you're starting from scratch or you're completely clueless. But that ends today. Oh, I feel like somebody just took themselves off mute. That ends today. But before we dive in, I need to tell you something that might sting a little bit. The reason you're struggling isn't because you're not good enough. It's not because you're not attractive enough or successful enough or funny enough. The reason you're struggling is because you've been operating with broken software. You've been trying to logic your way into a woman's heart when attraction happens in a completely different part of her brain. So here's what's really happening. The dating advice industry has been selling you lies for decades. They tell you to be yourself, but if being yourself really worked, you wouldn't be here, right? They tell you to just be confident, but confidence without competence is a delusion. They've had you focus on pickup lines, what to say, how to dress, when the real secret is something completely different, something that 99% of men will never understand because it requires you to think like a woman, not like a man. But I want to tell you that changes tonight. Tonight, you learn what actually works on women, with women, for women. This time together that we're going to have for the next hour, maybe even hour and a half, is going to be intense. It is going to be transformational. And if you're ready to finally understand what creates real attraction in women, not the superficial stuff, but the deep primal, I need to see this man again. I need to be with this man. I'm obsessed with this man kind of attraction, then you are exactly in the right place. You already have the foundation of success. I know you do. You do because you're here. I know you have the essentials within you. Now we're going to show you how to apply that same confidence and leadership to the one area that you haven't mastered yet. So, lots of me talking, but I'm going to ask you now, are you ready? If you're ready, type yes into the chat. If you are ready to understand what creates real attraction and finally make your dating life as successful as the rest of your life. Oh my God, this makes me so happy. I love
Ooh,
these yeses.
so many yeses.
Like flashing. It's like a pinball game. It's
It
amazing.
is. It is.
Okay. I love it, guys. Thank you for just being so unbelievable. Yeah, oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So over the next hour, I'm going to say things that are going to encourage you and inspire you, but more importantly, I'm going to say things that are going to challenge you. I have to say the hard things so that you can see what actually needs to change. The man who shows up in your social and dating situations is not the man that shows up in the rest of your life. As I said before, you can be a successful business owner, you can be a former athlete, you can be all the kinds of amazing things, all different kinds of amazing things. But in your dating life, you are inexperienced and not near mastery yet. Yet. I'm not here to beat you down. I'm here to lift you up. That's what I've been doing for the past 20 years. That's what every one of the 8 wing girls who works with me does. We lift up men to become the kind of men that women want. But there has to be a reality that you see of what needs to be fixed. So, a little light housekeeping first so that we know how everything works here tonight. This session, again, runs about an hour. There's no need for you to take any notes because I'm going to send you the recording, but I need your full attention. So I want you to turn off those phones. My phone is facing down. Close those browsers, stop those dings and notifications because what I'm about to share with you has taken me 21 plus years to perfect and probably longer because I've been doing this as professionally for 21 years, but I've been a woman for all of my life interacting with men. And it's transformed the lives of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of men worldwide. I ask that you stay on mute unless I call on you, and please give Miranda and myself everything that you've got for the next hour-ish, okay? All right. I want you to be as involved in this presentation as I am. This isn't going to be, well, it has been me talking at you, but it's not going to continue be me talking at you for the next hour. This is going to be an interactive and engaging presentation, right? This is us working together as a team. Throughout today's session, I'm going to be asking you to participate by typing responses in the chat like you've been doing it. Oh, you see? I like it. You guys are ahead of me. Um, this helps me understand where you are, what resonates with you, and ensures you're staying engaged with the material. Okay, as everybody's doing it, you type found it in the chat if you found where the chat feature is. Awesome. Okay, your participation not only helps me get more out of the session, but it also helps everyone else see that they're not alone in these experiences. Okay, so again, here's what I need you to do. Please stay on mute throughout the presentation and use the chat feature for all communication. I have my team on here as well. The amazing Jess is on, as well as some of my other wing girls are here. And if there are things you need to ask or want to ask, type them into the chat and they will save them for later when there's a space for me to answer questions. Okay. So again, I don't think you can take yourself off mute, but do not take yourself off mute, please. Okay, you already did this. Okay, perfect. All right, go to the next one. Okay, before we dive deep, I need you to understand something that will change how you see yourself forever. I'm going to repeat this over and over again because I want to drill it into your head. So, you are not average men. You are not men who settle. You are not men who wait around hoping things magically get better. You are the kind of men, the kind of man women actually crave, even if you can't see it yet. I see it in you. Miranda sees it in you. My wing girls see it in you. Why? Because you're here. Because you take action, because you're the kind of man who says, I want more in my life and I'm willing to show up and do the work to get it. I'm willing to figure out what is going wrong rather than diving under a rock and pretending nothing is happening and crying about it to everybody else. Being here puts you ahead of most men in your situation. And as you can see on this call, there are thousands of other men just like you who feel the same way. Most men hide from these issues and never figure it out, but you are different. This session is going to open your eyes, it's going to shift your mindset and lay the foundation. And if you're serious about mastering this part of your life, there is a clear path ahead. We'll talk about how to take the next steps when we wrap everything up, okay? But here's the thing, you already have everything that you need. The problem is that nobody ever taught you how to express what you already have in a way that makes women feel something deep and primal. Today, that changes. Today, you are going to learn the 4 S's. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with me. Not really with me, but I really want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Okay. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions about your experiences in the past month. So I want you to type yes or no in the chat. That's it. Okay. So, question number 1, in the past month, have you seen an attractive woman and thought, I would love to meet her, or I would love to approach her, but then did absolutely nothing afterwards? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses coming in. Yes, yes, yes. A few no's. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, lots of yeses. Okay, question number 2. In the past month, have you approached a woman, had what seemed like a great conversation, maybe even exchanged numbers, and then she went cold or disappeared? So I want you to type yay or nay into the chat. I know I'm throwing you off guard now, right? I'm switching it up. Yes, okay. So
Ooh, they're
okay,
fast.
lots of yays, some nays, but lots of yays. Okay. Okay. So here's question number 3. Right now, do you feel confused about what women actually want from men? So can you type a yes or a no into the chat? Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Lots of yeses. I'm seeing yes after yes. And you know what this tells me? First, it tells me again that you are not alone. Look at all of these men. Every man on this call has had these exact same experiences. Every single man on this call is extremely different from you. They look different, they're different ages, different ethnicities, different places in the country, even in the world as you saw from the very beginning. They have the same confusions, they have the same frustrations, the feeling like you're missing some secret code that every other guy somehow knows about. But second, and this is crucial, those yeses you just typed represent years of your life. Think about it. How many hours have you spent wondering what went wrong? How many nights have you replayed conversations in your head with women trying to figure out where you messed up? How many opportunities, 27 hours from Tristan, how many opportunities have slipped through your fingers while you were stuck in this confusion? I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Every month you continue operating without this knowledge. That's 30 plus quality women you could have met who are now meeting someone else. Your ideal woman, she's out there right now and she's talking to a man who already knows how to make her feel what I'm about to teach you. The cost of not learning this isn't just more bad dates, it's years of your life. It's settling for whoever will have you instead of choosing who you want. And this is exactly why you're here. And that ends right now. Okay. So here's another truth about the dating industry. The dating industry doesn't want you to know. It's not about pickup lines. It's not about what you say. It's not even about how you look. It's about how you make her feel. So let me explain why this is so powerful. Because when you understand the biology behind it, everything about female attraction starts to make sense. Women's brains are wired differently than men's brains when it comes to attraction. Like I was just talking today with Jess about this, and we were saying like how different men and women see the world. And to be honest, at certain points, I was like, oh, I'd like to see it like a man, just like without all of the stuff going on around you. We're all just different. We're wired differently than men's brains for most things, but especially when it comes to attraction. For men, attraction is largely visual and immediate. You see a beautiful woman, your brain says attractive, and attraction happens instantly. But for women, attraction happens in the emotional center of the brain, the limbic system. This is the ancient primal part of the brain that's responsible for survival, for safety, and for reproduction. It's the same part that helped our female ancestors choose mates who could protect them and their offspring. This means that when a woman meets you, her brain isn't just evaluating how you look, it's subconsciously scanning for emotional cues that signal whether you're someone who can fulfill her deepest biological needs. That's a lot that happens in a scan, but it's what happens to us every single time that we meet a person, especially a man. And here is the most fascinating part. This happens completely below the level of conscious thought. A woman can't logic herself into attraction. I wish I could. I wish I could logically say, oh, like that guy, be attracted to that guy, but we can't. We can't logic ourselves into attraction. She can't think her way into being interested in you just because you're nice and because you're good and you do good things and you're caring. She either feels it or she doesn't. That's why nice guys finish last. That's why being polite and respectful is not enough. That's why women date the bad boy instead of the guy who's perfect on paper. It's not because women are complicated or confusing, it's because we're responding to biological programming that's thousands of years old. So I want you to think about this. For most of human history, choosing the wrong mate could literally mean death. So women evolved to be incredibly sophisticated at reading emotional and behavioral cues that indicate whether a man can provide safety, resources, and good genes for their children. This program, it's still active today within us. When a woman meets you, her subconscious brain is asking four critical questions. It's asking, will this man keep me safe? Does this man see me as special and unique? Does this man desire me and make me feel feminine? And is this man selective or does he want any woman he can get? And will he take any woman he can get? Okay, those are the four things that we are thinking subconsciously when we see you and meet you. And there are exactly four feelings, four primal, biological, unstoppable emotional triggers that every woman's brain is scanning for when she meets a potential mate. Now, I could charge you $5,000 right now for what I'm about to share with you, and it would be worth every penny. In fact, that's exactly what I charge my private clients for this information. But here's the thing, I'm not going to hold back on you tonight. I'm going to give you all of the information for this complete system that I've created, the same system that has created over 2,800 successful relationships in the past 18 months alone. Why? Because I know that men like you, successful, intelligent, growth oriented men, when you see something that actually works, you take action on it. And when you get results, you tell other men about it. And that's how my business grows and more men learn about what I'm about to share. So I'm making a bet on you tonight. I'm betting that you're the kind of man who, when shown a proven system, will actually implement it. I'm betting that you're tired of mediocre results and ready for something that actually works. So I need to know if I'm right. So I want you to type in proven system in the chat if you're ready for something that actually works, that gets you results with women. Okay. Nice, guys. I like it. Okay. And now I'm ready to share it.
Woohoo!
I call it the four S's. And the four S's are what makes the difference between being the guy she politely talks to and the guy she cannot stop thinking about. These aren't theories, these aren't pickup artist tricks, these are fundamental truths about female psychology that have been tested with hundreds of thousands of men over 21 plus years. When you master the four S's, when you can naturally, authentically trigger these emotional responses in every interaction, you don't just become more attractive, you become irresistible because you're speaking directly to the part of her brain that creates attraction. So, again, I'm going to ask you another question. Are you ready to become irresistible? I want you to type yes or hell yes in the chat if you are ready.
There we
Perfect.
go.
I like it. All right. So, let me tell you about how I actually discovered the four S's because this story will show you exactly why this system works so powerfully. So this was I mean, years ago, right after college. So like 3 years ago, I think. No, I'm just joking. I had this friend, Dave, and Dave was everything a woman should want on paper. He was hilarious. He was a good man. He was incredibly smart. He was about to become super successful in his career. So great guy, total catch on paper. But Dave had one massive problem. He could not get a woman to save his life. I'm talking he couldn't get a date if he offered a woman $1,000 cash. It was painful to watch, but here's the amazing so, sorry, here's this amazing man, and women would talk to him. They would be friendly, but there was never any spark, never any attraction, never any romantic interest. He just wasn't able to make that happen within them. So one night, Dave was so frustrated that he said to me, Marnie, please just watch me tonight. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I don't get it. He thought he wasn't getting girls because he wasn't tall enough, or he was too nice, or because he wasn't funny or rich enough. But as a woman, I knew that it wasn't any of that. So I watched him, and within 10 minutes, I could see exactly what was happening. Dave wasn't making women feel anything. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. He wasn't making women feel anything. Okay, he was being nice. He was being polite. He was being respectful, but he wasn't creating any emotional response in these women. He wasn't signaling any of the primal triggers that create attraction. So I realized there were 4 specific feelings that every woman needed to experience to be attracted to a man. And Dave wasn't triggering any of them, like not a single one, right? Again, polite, kind, nice, but not triggering any of these things that need to be triggered. So I pulled him aside and I taught him exactly what I'm about to teach you today. I showed him the 4 S's. The transformation that I saw as soon as I showed him these 4 S's was immediate. Within weeks, Dave went from the guy who can get a phone number to the guy that women were literally chasing. In fact, the transformation was so dramatic that I ended up getting a little bit jealous and we actually dated for about 5 months. That's the power. Like I even told him what to do, knew what he was doing, and then was attracted to it myself. So that's how powerful it was. Okay. When you know how to trigger these 4 primal emotional responses in women, everything changes. And for the past 21 years, I have been teaching this exact system to men all over the world, and it works every single time when it's implemented correctly. So, are you ready to learn the 4 S's? Type ready or hell yeah in the chat. Amazing.
Ready, ready, ready. Hell yes.
Ready? Love it. Hell yes. Okay. Okay. So, here is the first S. So, safe is the first S. Okay. And this is where most men either nail it or they completely destroy their chances before they even begin with women. When I say safe, I don't mean boring. I don't mean predictable. I mean she feels emotionally and physically secure in your presence. So here is what safe looks like. It looks like you're grounded and you're not needy. You're confident and you're not pushy. You're present and you're not distracted. You're interested, but you're not desperate. Okay, I'm going to say those again. You're grounded, but not needy. You're confident, but not pushy. You're present, but not distracted. You're interested, but not desperate. Okay, here's what unsafe looks like. Unsafe is when you talk too fast because you're nervous, right? Like I'm doing right now. Standing too close to a person too soon. Asking too many personal questions immediately. Making her feel like you're hunting her rather than you're getting to know her, right? So women have incredible intuition about safety. They can sense desperation, they can sense neediness and agenda from a mile away. And the moment they feel unsafe, emotionally or physically, attraction dies. But when you display authentic confidence, when you approach her like a man who has options and isn't attached to any particular outcome, something magical happens. Her guard comes down. She relaxes. She becomes receptive to you. In our inner circle coaching program, we spend an entire week, actually, we spend longer on this, but we spend fully focused on this, an Inspire Week just on mastering safe. Because if you can't make her feel safe, none of the S's matter. None of the other S's even come into play because if she feels safe around, doesn't feel safe around you, she doesn't want to be around you. And there's a specific technique we teach that eliminates nervousness instantly. But again, I'm going to save that for later because I don't want this to go too long, but I will save that for later. But Miranda, I would love for you to share that story from your experience as a wing girl, where you've been coaching guys in the inner circle for about 3 years now. And I would love for you to tell them a story about one of our amazing clients who learned how to be safe.
Oh my God, yes. I have to tell you about Robert. Robert came to our inner circle program, 45, never been married, and this guy was a successful lawyer, confident in court, commanding presence with clients. But the moment he approached, he became this jittery, fast talking mess. I watched him practice our safe techniques during week 1, and it was like watching a completely different man emerge. By week 2, he approached a woman at a coffee shop with such a grounded confidence that she actually said to him, "There's something really calming about you." She ended up giving him her number and suggested that they meet that weekend. But here's what's interesting, and this is something we dive deep into in our inner circle sessions, but it wasn't just what he was doing differently, it was what he stopped doing that made all the difference. There are 3 specific behaviors that immediately signal unsafe to most women, and most men are doing at least 2 of them without even realizing it.
Someone said I'm blocking the sides in a separate window, so that's interesting. So it's just I'm gonna comment, but is everybody able to see the slides? Just put yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, interesting. Some are not. Well, I don't know what to do about that. So some of you will see
No.
it, some of you will not. You can hear my words, but okay, interesting. All right, but so I want to go back to what Miranda was saying. So here is what's beautiful about her story that she was just sharing about Robert's transformation. Robert's transformation happened in the first week. In 1 week, 1 week of implementing what we teach in our inner circle program, and women started responding to him completely differently. But this is where most men mess up. They learn, uh, oh, this is throwing me off a little bit. Okay. This is where you want me to move my head? I want you to see. Actually, Miranda, will you tell me what you see? If it's
Yeah, it looks like we're on the side to me,
oh, okay,
and the
interesting.
slides are on the left.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's okay, guys, but just listen to what I'm saying. You'll see the replay afterwards. So the important thing is listening to my voice. That's all you need to hear, okay?
So
So,
sexy.
so the thing I was going to talk about was Robert's transformation. Again, it happened in 1 week, but I want to tell you this is where most men mess up. They learn one piece, like safe, and they think that's enough. But the 4 S's work together. They like the ingredients in a recipe. Okay, guys, I want to tell you one thing. I'm not feeling very safe right now because you're all talking about where my head is. So just paying attention.
They're
Okay.
all saying they rather look at you than the slides
There
anyways.
you go. Okay. Perfect. It stopped. Okay. So I want to move on to the next S, which is special. So actually, one more thing about the first S. Like all the other S's, your goal is to make her feel each and every one of them. But also, you must feel it within yourself, right? So you have to feel safe within you. And what most guys struggle to overcome and admit is that they're scared. Scared of women hurting them, rejecting them, and not wanting them, again, which is totally normal. And when you feel this way, you project that to women, and that is what makes you feel unsafe. Women can sense that. But no more. Today with me, you are going to commit to turning that fear into power because if we don't face that fear, then all of the S's won't work for you. So right now, can I get a commitment to work on that fear? And I'll help you do this. I just need the commitment. So type no more fear in the chat if you commit to getting over any and all of your fears. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing, guys. I love it. Okay. So now we're going to go on to the second S. So the second S is special. And this is where you separate yourself from every other man that she's ever met. Special means she feels seen, she feels recognized and valued for who she is uniquely, right? Not just another pretty face, not for her looks, not for her God-given gifts, for who she is in here, uniquely, like nobody else out there. So here's the mistake that 99% of men make. They give generic compliments to women. You're so beautiful. You have a great smile. You seem so nice. Boring. Forgettable. Every guy says these things. Special is different. Special is specific. Instead of you're beautiful, you can try something like there's something about the way you laugh that's completely infectious. That's different. That's special. That's unique to her. Instead of you seem nice, try I can tell you're someone who actually thinks before they speak. That's really rare these days. Okay. Special is about noticing what makes her different from every other woman in the room and reflecting that back to her. But here's the key it has to be authentic, it has to be real, which means you have to be paying attention, which is part of safety, right? You have to really be listening to her in order to see what's special and unique about her. You genuinely have to look and appreciate her uniqueness. This is exactly what we master in weeks 2 and 3 of our Inner Circle program how to see and express authentic appreciation that makes her feel truly special. In fact, there is a specific formula that we teach called the unique observation method that works like magic. But let me show you something even more powerful first. Miranda, I would love for you to share a story from our inner circle about a recent client that learned how to make a woman feel special.
Ugh, Michael's story gives me chills every time. So, Michael was a sweet truck driver. Divorce really struggled with making women feel special because he kept giving those generic compliments that you just mentioned. During week 3 of our Inner Circle program, we taught him our advanced special techniques. And there's a whole psychology behind what makes it a compliment feel special versus generic. Michael practiced this technique with a woman he met at the gym who he's been wanting to approach for months. Instead of saying something boring like, oh, you're in great shape, he used our unique observation method and said, I've noticed you always seem completely focused during your workouts, like you're in your own world. I find that kind of mental discipline really attractive. She stopped mid workout and said, no one has ever noticed that about me before. They ended up talking for like an hour, and now they're planning a weekend getaway together. But here's the key. And we spend a full 2 weeks perfecting it in our Inner Circle program. It's not just what you notice, it's how you frame it
Yeah.
that creates that special feeling. There are actually 5 categories of observations that work, and most men know about only maybe one of
Yeah.
them.
So to be honest, Michael's story, it gives me chills because it shows the power of specificity. But here's what most men they do not realize. There are actually 5 different categories of observations that create that special feeling. Michael used just one of them and got incredible results. Imagine what happens when you know all 5. It's amazing. Just like making a woman feel special and the impact it has on her. And if you have all the skills, how unbelievable you can make women feel, which will make them absolutely obsessed with you. So I want to move on to the third S. Okay. The third S is sexy. Okay. So this is where most nice guys completely fall apart. Sexy doesn't mean sleazy. It doesn't mean inappropriate, touching, or crude comments. Sexy means that you're not afraid to show that you find her attractive. Because it's okay. It's okay to find a woman attractive. It's not okay to drool all over her, focus on her body and not her as a human being, but it is okay to be attracted and have desire for a woman. You're comfortable with your masculine energy. That's also what sexy means. And you can create sexual tension without being inappropriate. Here's what sexy looks like it's confident eye contact that says, I'm interested in you, right? It's a slight smile that suggests you're thinking something that you're not saying about her. It's the ability to give a compliment that makes her feel feminine. It's creating moments of anticipation and tension. And I will tell you, this is one of the hardest S's to accomplish because you have to obtain a level of composure for yourself and a level of confidence through practice and experience to get to that place, which we dive into in the inner circle coaching program. Like that's pretty much all that we're focusing on is establishing that base so that you can pull these things off successfully. So just letting you know this is harder to achieve, but every person on this call, every person in the world can achieve these things with practice, effort, and experience.
It's learned, it's not
Right.
innate, you
It's a
guys.
skill. It's a skill. It's a
Mhm.
total skill set. Okay. So here's what not sexy looks like. It's being so respectful that you're basically sexless, right? It's treating her like your sister. It's being afraid to show any romantic interest or pretending you have no romantic interest, which is even worse. It's apologizing for being attracted to her. That is not sexy. These things are not sexy. Women want to feel desired. They want to feel feminine in response to your masculine energy. They want tension and they want chemistry. Miranda and I were just talking about that before we got into this call for like half an hour. Like we crave chemistry. We crave that passion. We crave being wanted and desired by a man who can compose himself, right?
Yes.
A man who also makes us feel special,
Hmm.
the other four S's as well, the other S's as well, okay? Like these are all really important things that women want, but most men are so terrified of being inappropriate that they become completely neutered. They approach women like they're applying for a job interview instead of creating attraction. So in our inner circle program, we have an entire section dedicated to mastering healthy masculine energy and creating sexual tension in a way that makes her feel desired, not objectified. It's I think it's revolutionary what we do. I don't see anybody else out there doing what we do. But there's one technique that's so powerful. I only teach it to our inner circle members. And my amazing Wing Girl Miranda, can you please share the story you told me at last week's Wing Girl meeting about that client of yours that really pulled off making a woman feel sexy?
This is where I see the biggest transformations. So we had this gentleman, Thomas, super nice guy, 52, recently divorced, and he was so terrified of being inappropriate that he had zero sexual energy. Women literally saw him as a friend, shoved him right in the friend zone within minutes. During our sexy mastery weeks in the inner circle, we taught him something we call tension creation techniques. There are actually about 7-ish specific ways to create sexual tension that feel completely natural and gentlemanly. Thomas practiced our eye contact sequence. Those of you who know me, I love that, which is just one of the techniques we teach. And on his very first date, after learning it, the woman actually said to him, "There's something about the way that you look at me that makes me feel so feminine." They've been inseparable ever since. But here's what most men don't realize, and this is crucial: sexual tension is not created by what you say, it's created by what you don't say.
Yeah.
There's a whole science behind strategic pauses, meaningful glances, and creating anticipation. In our inner circle program, we spend weeks perfecting this because most men either go too far or not far enough, end up being boring or creepy. It's never in between. There's actually a perfect balance point that makes her feel desired but not objectified. And when you hit the sweet spot,
Yeah. Exactly. It's perfection. And some of the guys were actually commenting on it as well. Like they were talking about eye contact chicken and all of the things that we teach
mm-hmm.
people. But Thomas's transformation is proof that sexual tension, it's not about age, looks, or money. It's about energy. It's about how you feel. It's about knowing how to create anticipation and desire in a way that feels completely natural. But here's the key. It has to be calibrated perfectly. Too much, too soon, and you're creepy. Too little, too late, and you're the friend, right? Yeah. So let's get to that
Yeah.
final S, okay? So this might be the most counterintuitive, can't even speak, counterintuitive of all the S's. The fourth S, which is selective, okay? The final S is selective, and this, again, might be the most important one of all. But here's what most people get wrong about selective. It's actually two sides of a coin. So there's two parts to it. Selective means two things. You are selective. You don't say yes to just any woman. You choose based on your standards. And the second part is she feels selected. She feels chosen by a man who clearly has options and value. And here's why this is so powerful. When you're genuinely selective, when you clearly have options, but you're choosing her, it triggers what psychologists call scarcity and value. She doesn't just feel wanted, she feels chosen by someone who could choose anyone, who has countless options. So selective looks like this. It looks like having genuine standards and not compromising them. Being willing to walk away if she's not right for you and knowing she's not right for you. I have so many guys that I've worked with who are like, I went on a date and this girl did this, this, and this. Don't really like those things, but I'd like to see her again. What do I do? And I'm like, you just listed 5 things that you don't like about this woman. Please pay attention to those things. Selective men pay attention to those things and either say, no, not for me, or I recognize these things, but there's 20 other things that I like instead. I'm going to give that girl another chance. That's selective. Not chasing or pursuing excessively. It looks like showing interest while maintaining your independence. It looks like making her feel like she's been selected from all of your other options.
You guys, you can't be a hyena. You can't just take the scraps.
Yeah.
Right?
Like that.
Exactly.
Like, I'll take it.
We
I'll take it.
want,
I'll take it.
yes, we want you to be like the leopard, the panther, right? Fucking take your kill up into the tree and you eat what you want first and
Yeah.
drop the rest for the hyenas.
Yeah,
Don't be a
absolutely.
hyena.
And somebody asked, like, how do you project that? You do that through practice, experience, right? And also getting feedback from other individuals, right? You do that through growing confidence, which is accomplished through practice and experiencing things. These are all skill sets. Everything I'm teaching you is a skill set. Skill sets you can learn, just like in school, where you learn to become a lawyer or an accountant or a truck driver or a rancher or whatever it is that you are.
And we
You
have so many exercises to
yeah.
help with this too. So many.
Exactly. Exactly. So what I'm teaching tonight, this is the theory. We're going to work on how to actually do this in a little bit, and I'm going to give you exercises to go home with so that you can work on things by yourself, and that's part of the practice and experience, okay? So I'm giving you the information now so that you understand it, and then we're going to work on implementing it. And then that's on your shoulders to implement it afterwards. Unless you want to team up with us and my amazing wing girls and we can help you work on it together. Okay. Well, we'll talk more about that afterwards. So I want to go over what non-selective looks like. I know we talked about the hyena, but it's also saying yes. Oh, I did this already. Pursuing, right? Did I do these ones already? Did I?
No,
I did not. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So non-selective looks like saying yes to any woman who shows interest. Sure, I'll take you. Just because you're pretty, you have boobs, I'll take you, right? It looks like acting desperate or like she's your only option. It looks like changing yourself to fit what you think she wants. It looks like pursuing harder when she shows less interest, right? That's what non-selective looks like. Again, it's somebody who has no other options, who has to take what he can get instead of going after what he wants. So think about it. How do you feel if someone with no other options chose you versus someone who clearly had many options but selected you specifically? The same principle applies to attraction. When you're selective, when you clearly have options and standards, but you're choosing her, she feels incredibly special and valued. So, this is what we perfect in the final weeks of our Inner Circle program, becoming the kind of man who chooses rather than chases, while making her feel genuinely selected by a high value man. And there's a specific framework we use called the Standards Assessment Protocol that completely changes how women perceive you. But let me tell you why this works first. Or actually, I want Miranda to tell you why this works first. So please share why this works and share your story on being selective and selected.
Yes. Always, always dramatic transformations. We had David. He was a widow, 71, and he was chasing every woman that gave him the slightest bit of attention. He was saying yes to dates with women he wasn't even attracted to because he was so desperate for female validation. During our selective mastery phase in the inner circle, we taught him our 3 standards framework. These are 3 non-negotiable standards every man should have, but like 90% of men have never even thought of them. David implemented these standards, and within 2 weeks, something incredible happened. He actually turned down a date with an attractive woman because she didn't meet his standards. But here's the crazy part: when he politely declined, she became even more interested. She started pursuing him.
Mhm.
Now he's dating a woman who checks every box. She tells her friends that what attracted her the most to him was that he knew what he wanted and he wasn't desperate.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. And this is part of the advanced psychology we cover in the inner circle. When you become truly selective, it actually triggers what we call scarcity attraction loop. Women start competing for your attention instead of you competing for theirs, right? We peacock up a little bit. There are actually four specific behaviors that signal selectiveness, and you can master all four with us. I know Marni has been telling you to type things, right, in the chat all night, right? I'm going to ask you to do the same. Type, I have value and options in the chat, because you do. Even if you don't feel like it right now, you will start believing it.
I know I was seeing a lot of the comments from guys in here saying, I've been afraid to talk to women, or how do I get all of these things? I've never been able to do this. I've never been able to do that. It starts with believing that you have value and options. You got to start from a good place and a good mindset, and then other things are possible. And other other things are possible also when you have the skill set, which we are about to give you. Okay.
Yeah.
All these things are possible, but they are not possible if you're fighting it all the time, saying it's not possible. She won't say this, she won't say that. If you don't believe anything that we say and you're not willing to try the things that we say, nothing's going to happen for you. You've already come here to this event to learn what's needed. And now the second and hardest part is actually taking the advice that we're giving and putting it into practice. Okay.
Stick it on a fucking post it and remind yourself to
Yeah,
do it, right? I love a
exactly.
post it.
Me too. Okay. I want to show you exactly what the four S's look like in practice. So we've explained what the four S's are, and I hope that you got all of them, took them in, understand them. I know it's going to take a little bit of time to actually properly take them in, and we're going over this fast, but I want to show you what it looks like in practice, because once you hear a practical use of these, I think it's going to make more sense. I'm going to tell you the same story in two different ways, and I want you to pay close attention to the difference. Okay. So, scenario one: coffee shop, Saturday morning. There's an attractive woman in line ahead of you reading a book while waiting to order. Okay. So the first scenario is how not to display the four S's, how to like blow it. Okay. How to blow this interaction with this woman. So we're going to use this guy named Mark, right? Mark sees her and he immediately starts overthinking, overanalyzing. He approaches nervously and he's speaking too fast. Excuse me, sorry to bother you. I know you're busy reading, but I just wanted to say you seem really nice. And I was wondering if maybe, possibly, you might want to grab a coffee sometime. I mean, only if you want to. No pressure at all. I totally understand if you're not interested. Okay. Then this woman smiles back at him and says politely, that's really sweet, but I'm actually seeing someone, and turns away. Mark apologizes again and he retreats.
Ugh.
So I'm going to ask you this. What S's did Mark fail to display? I want you to write it in the chat. Which S's did he fail to display? All of
All
them.
of
All of
them.
them. All safe, safe, safe. Okay, all of them. All of them. All of them. All of them. Okay. Yeah, you're right. He failed all four of the S's. Thank you. I love that you are paying attention. So you do get all of this. Okay. He failed all four. Safe. He was nervous. He was apologetic. He was speaking too fast. He made her feel his anxiety. He put that onto her, right? Special. He used generic compliments. You seem nice. Could apply to anybody, not anything unique like we talked about. He failed to make,
Sandwich.
yeah, exactly. Failed to make her feel sexy. Zero sexual tension. Treated her like his grandmother. Selective, begging multiple escape routes and clearly desperate, right? He apologized over and over and over again for being attracted to her and wanting to ask her out. Okay, so I'm going to tell this story in a different way. And this is what the four S's mastery looks like. Somebody who does this right, which I kind of gave away the ending. But this is the same scenario with a man who understands the four S's. So Mark sees her. He takes a breath and approaches calmly with confidence. He stands at a comfortable distance and says, with a slight smile, a little smirk on his face, I had to come tell you something. I've been standing here watching you completely absorbed in that book while chaos is happening all around you. And there's something really attractive about someone who can focus like that. Okay. She looks up and she's intrigued. And then he continues. Most people can't disconnect from their phones for 5 minutes, but you're actually present I respect that. She says, thank you. That's actually really perceptive of you and made me feel good. So he nods and he says, oh, I'm Mark, by the way. And before you think I'm just another guy hitting on women in coffee shops, I should tell you, I almost didn't come over here. I'm pretty selective about who I approach, but something about your energy made me think we might have an interesting conversation. Okay, she's fully engaged now. The book closes and they're making strong eye contact. So I gave it away before, but what S's did he display and how? Which S's did he display? All of them, all of them, all of them, all four of
Yeah.
them. Yes, I know. I cheated for you. Gave you all the answers before. Yes. Yes, he did all of them. He hit all four perfectly. Okay? So I'm going to break it down for you. He was safe. He came over calm. He had a confident approach. He was comfortable because he gave some distance in the interaction. He was grounded and he had grounded energy. He made her feel special. He made a specific observation about her focus and presence and made her feel seen, right? It wasn't just like, "Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, great book. Oh, that's so nice that you read." Anybody can get those comments. He was very specific about what he was saying. He made her feel special. There's something really attractive, dot, dot, dot. Okay. He showed clear interest and desire. He even called it out saying there was something really attractive about a woman saying, I'm okay to say that I'm attracted to what you are presenting to me. He was selective. I'm pretty selective about who I approach. He literally said those words, positioned himself as having options and standards. And the result was that she felt safe, she felt special, she felt desired and chosen by a high valued man. And that's attraction. That's absolute attraction. So I'm going to give you a few quick scenarios, and I want you to tell me in the chat which S is being displayed. Okay. So scenario number one, a man approaches a woman and says, I couldn't help but notice you're drinking the same obscure tea that I love. Either you have incredible taste or we're kindred spirits. What S is he displaying? Yeah.
Special.
Special. Yes, it is special, but you are right. It is also selective, whoever put selective, because it's saying, like, I like this tea, and now you like this tea, so I think you're great. So you are right. You even got me, special and selective. Yeah, good job, guys. Okay, so here's scenario number two. A man maintains steady eye contact and says with a slow smile, there's something special about the way you move that's completely captivating. So which one is this?
Ooh, hey.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah, very good, guys. Yeah, I love it. It can be special too, but yeah, it's definitely sexy, sexual tension, sexy, sexy. Yep, you're right. Awesome. Okay, so you guys are catching on. Scenario number three, a man says, I was actually about to leave, but something about our conversation made me want to stay. I don't usually extend my evenings for just anybody. Oh, yeah, you're on it. I love this.
I
I
love that line.
Good job,
I don't
guys.
usually extend my
I
evenings for
know.
just anyone.
I know. They're
I'm
just like
like, okay.
Yeah, there's simple things that you can start to use that you throw into like the beginning of your sentence that just it positions it the right way. Okay, great work, guys. Scenario number four. A man speaks slowly, maintains relaxed body language, and gives the woman space to respond without filling every silence. What's that one?
There you go. Safe, 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 safe.
Yeah. Good job, guys. I love it. This makes me so happy. I love this. Okay, you're getting it. But here's what I want you to understand. Knowing intellectually is different from being able to actually execute this naturally in real time. It takes practice, complete practice and repetition to make it intuitive, natural, and automated. Okay. But this is an amazing start. Just even recognizing these things and recognizing the differences is huge. So here's what I want you to do this week. This is where the implementation comes in. Okay. This is how you get to have these things. And this is crucial for your development. The four S's observation exercise. That's what I'm going to teach you right now. So for the next 7 days, I want you to observe interactions around you at work, in social settings, even TVs, on TV and in movies, which is amazing because like TV and movies is you're just an observer anyway, right? And you're allowed to be staring. So that's actually a really great place to notice these things. And I want you to ask yourself these three questions. Which of the four S's is this person displaying or failing to display? Okay. I want you to ask yourself, how is the other person responding? What would you do differently? Okay. And you can actually write these down for yourself if you'd like. You're going to get a recording of this. But again, it's which of the four S's is this person displaying or failing to display? How is the other person responding? What would you do differently? So the practice exercise is pick one of the four S's. Sorry, this is another exercise. I have a couple of ways to implement it. Sorry. So that was the four S's observation exercise. This is the next exercise, which is putting it to practice. Okay. So pick one of the four S's and focus displaying it in all of your interactions this week, not just with women, because this, to be honest, what you're trying to do now is you're trying to attract people, right? In the very beginning, you want to attract people and you attract them. You can't attract them by doing each of these four S's. Men respond to these things, women respond to these things, coworkers respond to these things. They're not inappropriate. People respond to these things and start at the base level and then you can work your way up to women. Okay. So I want you to pick one of the four S's and focus on displaying it in all your interactions this women. So just pick one of them, not just with women again, you're attracted to, but with everybody. If you choose safe, focus on being really grounded, calm energy in all your interactions. If you choose special, I want you to practice giving specific, thoughtful observations. If you choose sexy, work on confident eye contact and showing appropriate interest if you choose. Selective. Practice having standards in all areas of your life. Now, here's the one thing. This is just beginning. If you do these exercises, it's the tip of the iceberg. Okay? So, what I've shared today is the foundation, but mastering the four S's in the real world, in real world situations under pressure with specific calibration each woman needs, that's what separates the men who get results from the men who stay stuck. Okay? So now that you understand the basics, and now that I've given you some tools for practicing in the real world, let me show you an advanced level of the four S's, because this is where most men sabotage themselves without even knowing it. There are four critical mistakes that destroy the four S's, even when you think you're doing it right. Okay, so mistake number one, the safety killer. Outcome attachment. You display all the right body language, speak at the right pace, maintain good eye contact. But if you're internally attached to getting her number or getting a result, she's going to feel that agenda from a mile away. This is the most common mistake that I see. A guy will approach perfectly, say all the right things, but his energy is screaming, I need this to work out. And I'm focusing 10 steps ahead and in the moment. And women feel that desperation like a sixth sense. Okay. And that kills safety. So here's a quick I'm giving you a lot of exercises, okay? And again, this is going to seem like a lot of stuff, but you're going to go back and you're going to rewatch this, or you're going to work with our team and we're going to work with you to do these exercises so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. I just want to make sure you have all of the information so that you can start to put everything to practice and then get the results that you want, okay? So the quick exercise. Think about the last woman that you approached. On a scale of 1 to 10, how attached were you to the outcome? So I want you to type the number in the chat. Like, how much did you care about the outcome? So I guess 10 being like the greatest attachment to the outcome. Okay, so there's a mix, but mainly like 7 and up, I would see.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So if you're above 5, that's why she felt unsafe around you. Women can sense desperation even when you think you're hiding it. And the solution is practice approaching with genuine curiosity about her, not attachment to what you can get from her. Okay? So mistake number 2 is the special killer, generic specificity. This one trips up so many guys. They think they're being specific when they say, I love your style, or you have great energy, or you seem really interesting. But that's still generic. Every guy can say these. Anybody can say these. And those things can apply to every single person. Real specificity requires you to actually observe something unique about her before a behavior, her choices, her energy that 99% of people wouldn't notice. Okay. So generic is you have great style. Specific is I noticed you chose the corner table facing the room. Most people sit with their backs to everyone, but you seem like someone who likes to be aware of her surroundings. That's very specific. You don't have to
Mhm.
always be that specific, but that's specific. The difference, the first could apply to anyone. The second shows you're actually paying attention to her and like you're liking it. You're like, that's cool. That was interesting about you. I'm noticing the things that you do. That feels cool. It feels special. It feels awesome.
Which most of the guys prior that they've dated, they have not noticed it, right? How many
Exactly.
times do we hear, I just want to be seen, you
Yes,
know?
it's gonna be seen. Yes. And even like all my married friends, they scream that all the time. I just want to be
Yes.
seen by anybody. Anybody. Okay. So mistake number three, which is the sexy killer. Timing, misjudgment. Being sexy too early makes you creepy. Being sexy too late makes you the friend. There's actually a very specific 30-second to 2-minute window where sexual tension feels natural versus forced. Most men either come in way too hot with sexual energy before any connection is established, or they wait too long to show any romantic interest that she's already categorized them as a nice guy friend. I've had that happen with so many guys where I'm like, I'm into them, I'm into them. And then they
Mm-hmm.
don't do anything. And I'm like, no, you're my friend now. You're my
Yeah.
that's where you're gonna
Oh,
stay forever. Yeah, it's horrible. It just
that's what
like,
you don't want to hear. Oh,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
nice.
Oh, exactly. Okay. So the key sexual tension should build after she's comfortable, but before she's bored. It's about reading her response and escalating her interest, not your timeline. Mistake number four. So this is the selective killer, having fake standards. This is where guys say they're selective while their behavior screams, I'm completely desperate and I will take anything. So you can't tell her you have standards while chasing every woman who gives you attention, right? That is a complete killer. Real selectiveness means you actually do turn down opportunities that don't meet your criteria. Women can sense when your standards are just words versus when they're real boundaries that you actually live by. If you've never said no to a date, never walked away from a conversation, never chosen your principles over potential sex, your selectiveness is not real. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking after hearing about these mistakes. Marni, I'm doing at least 3 of these wrong, maybe all 4. I'm totally blowing this. And you know what? That's completely normal. These are advanced concepts that most men never learn. How most dating coaches don't even teach this level of calibration. But here's what I want you to understand. Now that you know these mistakes exist, you're already ahead of 95% of men out there. Awareness is the first step to mastery. The men who
Mhm.
struggle with women aren't the ones making these mistakes. They're the ones making these mistakes and not even knowing it. So you're different now. You have the knowledge. The knowledge, I mean, the question is, what are you going to do with it? Now, earlier tonight, I gave you a homework assignment about practicing one of the 4 S's with everybody this week, right? That I think is going to be a huge assignment for you. And you're going to go through each of the S's every single week after you pick this first one and really master it. But I want to give you something even more powerful and more specific. Here's your final challenge that I want you to walk away with. I want you to think of a specific woman, maybe someone you see regularly, maybe someone you've been wanting to approach. So in the chat, I want you to tell me which of the 4 S's would be most important for her specifically. And I also want you to tell me what's one specific thing you could say or do that would make her feel this S. So which of the 4 S's would be most important to her specifically? Okay, special, selective, safe, sexy, all of them. Okay, I like that you know these so instantly, right? So these
Mhm.
are actually the ones that you're writing down now are the ones that you're going to practice for this week. Because if you know that these are what the women in your life want and need, this is what you're going to practice doing. Okay? That exercise that I gave you before. So this is exactly the kind of personalized strategy work that transforms your results from theoretical to real world success. And honestly, watching you guys engage with this material tonight, seeing the quality of your responses, it reminds me why I love doing this work. You're not just here for quick fixes and pickup lines. You're here because you want to genuinely understand how this works. And I love that. It's why I've been doing this for almost 22 years. Like I love you guys. I absolutely love men like you.
Yes, that's what we were talking about earlier too,
I
right? Like we
know.
get this like
You
rush
get
and this
this buzz
juice.
from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's still this excitement that we have to because we want to help you be better. We love that level of commitment to growth. That's exactly what separates the men who succeed from those who stay stuck. And I need to get real with you for a minute. What I've shared with you tonight, the 4 S's, it's not just dating advice. This is a complete system for understanding and creating attraction. This is 21 years of my life condensed into 1 hour. And here's what I know is going to happen. I'm like a mind reader. I know this is going to happen. Okay. Some of you, you're going to leave this call, get excited for about 24 hours, and then do absolutely nothing with this information. You're going to go back to your old patterns, your old approaches, your old results. And some of you are going to try to implement pieces of this, but you're going to miss the nuances, the calibration, and advanced techniques that make the difference between theory and transformation. But a few of you, maybe 5%, are going to realize that what I've shared tonight is just the tip of the iceberg. You're going to understand that if this foundation is this powerful, imagine what the complete system looks like. Pulling this off properly looks like, the impact that it has. Those are the kind of men that I love. Those are the men who get life-changing results. And I want each of you who are still on this call, who stuck around to the end of this call, to be the guy that gets life-changing results once he applies what I've taught tonight. So if you don't understand the 4S's, you're walking in the dark with women every single time. You might get lucky occasionally, but you'll never understand why things work when they work, or why they don't when they don't. The men who master this, they never wonder again. They know exactly what they're doing and why it works. Now, I wish that I could sit down with every single one of you and help you apply these 4S's to your dating life, or even your specific situation with women. In fact, some guys actually pay me up to $20,000 just to walk them through what I've shared with you tonight. But I know this information is information that you need, and I want to help you put it to use right now. So, as a gift for those of you who stayed on, because some of you have left, okay? Who stayed on till this portion of the night, I want to give away something really valuable. Okay. I am giving away 21-hour dating strategy sessions with my expert team. Okay. I'm going to repeat that because I stumbled over it. I'm offering 21-hour dating strategy sessions with my expert team. These sessions are for men who are ready to get serious about their dating lives. So, on these calls, what these sessions include: we are going to analyze your specific situation and biggest obstacles. We are going to create a customized roadmap for your next 90 days, show you exactly which of the 4S's you need to focus on first, give you specific techniques and language patterns for your situation. And at the end of the call, you're going to walk away with a clear plan and actionable strategies you can implement immediately. The value that you will get from this session alone is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. But here's the thing: these sessions are only for men who are serious about changing their results. We don't want to waste our time, and we don't want to waste anybody else's time either. These spots are limited, and I want them to go to men who are ready to take action. So the link to sign up for this, and I have my wing girl Jess who's going to put this in the chat as well, but the link for this is winggirlmethod.com/4S. So I want you to fill out the application that page takes you to. It takes about 3 minutes. If you qualify, my team will contact you within 24 hours, and hopefully you'll be one of the 20 people who gets one of these free 1-hour dating strategy sessions. That's like a tongue twister.
It is.
It is, but I need to warn you, the last time I offered something like this, we had over like 600 applicants in like the first 24 hours. I'm only taking 20 guys this month because of my team's capacity, right? And we want to make sure again that we give it to guys who are really going to put it to use. Guys who are in that 5% who are going to take action and make things happen. So maybe you're just coming out of a long-term relationship and have no clue how this modern dating world works anymore. Maybe you've lost your wife and you're ready to find companionship again, but you feel completely out of practice. Maybe you're a man who has never been able to master this area of your life before, but you're finally ready to figure it out. Maybe you've been trying for years, but haven't been able to find success with women, and you just don't understand why nothing seems to work. Or maybe you're tired of feeling like you need to play games or be a jerk to get attention, and you want to learn how to attract women while being authentic and genuine. I know that describes so many of you. I can I I can see it in the chat right now. Like, you have questions, you're confused, you're frustrated, you want to figure it out. I know that these things apply to you, and I want to help each and every one of you. But as I said, I cannot. So again, as a prize for staying to the very end and really absorbing this material, I'm giving away 21-hour dating strategy sessions, and I genuinely hope that you get one of them. So again, go to winggirlmethod.com/4S. Okay.
And you guys, not only will you learn so much about yourself and what you need to do and what you need to implement, but we are so fun. Like, I maybe I'm biased, right? But all of the girls, we all get together every Wednesday. Tomorrow's our day, right? We all get together, we talk, we have a good time, we laugh, we say dumb stuff, we talk about you guys. Like, it is so much fun. And we have such a like fun rapport with all of the clients that I say, you know, like I'm gonna big sister the shit out of you, you know. It's so fun. We're all so emotionally invested in your outcome, and it genuinely makes us happy and makes us joyful to see you guys successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mirror everything that Miranda just said. And I hope that you guys get one of these 20 spots because we'd love to talk to you and help you. And I know we were supposed to end this at about an hour, but Miranda, if you have some free time, I saw that a lot of guys were asking questions in the chat throughout that I was not paying attention to because I was trying to do a presentation. I couldn't answer the questions. But Miranda and I are happy to stay on for another 10, maybe 15 minutes and
Yeah.
answer some questions. I know that Jess uh, was keeping track of people who were asking questions. So, Jess, if you want to help us connect with some of these amazing guys who have some questions, if anybody does have questions, put it into the chat, raise your hand. I see a whole bunch of hands up. But, Jess, if you can pass over a couple of guys to us. Um, okay, well, actually, let's go to this one. So, Keystone. Okay. So Jackal wrote, "How about loss of a wife of 50 years and no clear future other than loneliness?" Miranda, you want to
Hmm.
talk about that? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people, as I said before, maybe you're somebody who's just lost somebody recently. We actually, I would say like 30% of the guys that are in the inner circle are widows right now.
Yeah,
So
lots and lots.
yeah.
And
So I'd love, yeah.
widowers date differently. So widowers are not out of their relationship because something went wrong or something, you know, went south with the woman. She started acting a certain way. There was infidelity, nothing like that. You guys know what a good relationship is. And you guys know that it's wonderful to be in that relationship. So you guys start dating differently, right? You're the guy who says, you know, good morning, sweetheart. Good night, my love. Way too early, way too soon. And quite frankly, you scare women off. You know, it's really awful. So even like changing the little bits about yourself and then learning how things are operating now, right? Like I'm from the before time too, when we had to actually like pick up the phone when we were home and there wasn't all of this internet dating, there wasn't anything, but that's the climate that we live in now. And it's really nice teaching people about that. Marnie and I will call him M, you know, but M, one of our shining widowers, he like you guys, he is mastering everything. I have never seen if I could live that man's life,
Oh, I know.
unbelievable. He's
Oh,
so freaking happy. He emails us all the time, tells us about how much sex he's having all the
yeah.
time, tips and tricks,
Sometimes
and yeah.
it's too much. I'm like, all right, stop bragging. It's enough.
I
Okay.
right, stop
Yeah.
bragging.
Having incredible
Exactly.
sexual experiences. Stop bragging. Okay. We've got kids. But no, but I agree. So as Miranda was saying, yes, dating when you are a widower is completely different. Many of you have just come off of being a caregiver for a long time and you have given your life to somebody else, either for 30 years because you're married or for 2 to 10 years because you've been a caregiver. So the first thing that we really advise is to refind you because you have to find yourself as an independent man who also still has this amazing respect and love for a woman that he's lost in his life. But it is getting back out into the world in a way that's comfortable for you with a little push from us or even from yourself to get out there and refine who you are as an I, not as a we anymore. And it's finding spaces and places for you to interact with people who either are going through similar things to you or at least understand the position that you're in, and then learning all of the basics for this new world that you're entering into, which, in fact, I will be honest, like Miranda said it before, it's not really a new world. People ask me all the time, has the dating world changed? Has the things that you've seen in your business changed drastically with cell phones and social media and online dating? And I say no. To be honest, I mean, I've changed because I have aged and I have different experiences now. But the things that men came to me for in 2006 or 2004, same things are coming to me about now. the forums have changed a little bit, but at the core, if you learn for yourself all of these four S's and really hone them, you can apply them to every medium that you interact with, whether it's texting, whether it's online, whether it's what other forums are there? It's on online dating. Like you have to work on the basics first, and then you can use any medium correctly.
Yeah.
And
It's
that,
like what you reference to all the time. It's primal. So this
yeah,
goes back thousands of years, you know,
yeah,
thousands of years. We, seek
yeah,
those things out.
yeah. Okay, so here's another question. Oh, it keeps sorry, it keeps um can you elaborate on the scanning? Oh, it keeps jumping up. I'm sorry. On the scanning signals, safety testing, sealing. I really want to know. Oh, for women who are scanning. Yes. Okay. So elaborating on the scanning. As I said before, women go by how you feel. They trust their gut. We are multitaskers. We're not single focused. So like men are single focused. So like you're attractive, I want to sleep with you. I want to be with you. I want to date with you. I know that sometimes it's not that simple, but it is much more single focused than women are. Women are like, you're attractive, but what else you got, right? So we're looking for other things about you that say that you, again, tap into all of the S's, that you can make me feel special. You're selective. You're making me feel selected. You're making me feel sexy. Um, and you're making me feel safe. Like there is an unconscious thing going on for us all the time. And Miranda touched on it before, where it's about the energy that you project is the energy that we take in, right? And there are many tactics that you can use to help display each of these four S's very quickly. But what women are looking for to protect themselves, to keep themselves out of danger, and to make sure they don't give their heart to somebody who's going to stomp on it, they're looking for each of these four S's, not only to feel attraction and be triggered in a very wonderful way, but also to protect themselves. Hope
And
that's
so many of these are nonverbal, you guys. So if you feel like I can't get the words out or anything like that, it's so nice that you can practice some of these nonverbal, like Marnie was talking about, like the eye contact, the safe distance, things like that, that you can practice without having to say anything first. And then you start building up that sort of confidence and, you can move on to the rest and it's practice, practice.
Yeah, I agree. I wish that people were able to actually come on and speak. Next time we can do it that way. You know what? We'll arrange for next time for people to be able to come on and speak. But I want to just show you that link. Why was happening with my head going there? I did have it clicked on that thing. Sorry, guys. Okay, but there. I want you to go to here. Jess was just telling me there's like a lot of applicants already, but I'm just telling you, we're going through these applications. It's not the first 20 people who sign up for this. It's the first 20 people who are like freaking amazing and really dedicated to wanting our help and answers from us. Those are the people that are going to get these free 1 hour strategy sessions, dating strategy sessions with us. So go to wingrelmethod.com/4S. I'm sweating because there's not enough air conditioner up here. But I want to thank you guys for coming onto this call. You guys are amazing. I'm going to get off, but Jess is going to stay on. If anybody has any questions, she's going to stay on, answer questions. I think she'll be on here for another 20 minutes, half an hour. You guys stay on as long as you want, but I'm going to get off. Thank you so much for showing up tonight, for paying attention, for listening to
Yeah.
me. And I'm going to thank you in advance for taking all the information that I shared in this event tonight and applying it. I really want each of you to do the exercises that I shared because when you do, you will start to hone and own these four S's, and you will start to see women respond to you differently. Just as I explained about Dave in the very beginning, it took him like a week, 1 week, and he turned things around because he was that dedicated to making change, because he was that frustrated with the fact that he wasn't seeing results, and he knew they were results that he could get. So when he changed these things, the little tweaks in his language, the way that he carried himself, they're simple things. And with practice, they can happen really, really fast. So take these exercises, do the work, practice, and you will see the same results. In addition to that, you can also work with our team and we will kick your butt to make sure that you do these exercises and see the results. Okay. So go sign up, wingirlmethod.com/4S. Stick around and talk to Jess, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you very soon on one of these 21-hour dating strategy
I
sessions.
hope so.
Yes. All right. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.